Hey everyone, my name's Chris, and welcome to Anime Debate. Let me start by saying right away that this is a very difficult review for me to make because I felt a lot of different things here. So, Beastars, I watched because it was on Netflix, and I was thinking to myself when I saw it, I'm like, okay, this could very well be like Bloody Roar, that old school video game where you could play as animals that were like fight each other. You had like a rabbit schoolgirl, and you had like a giant bear, and it was really cool. It was really awesome, very innovative. And so I thought this was gonna be like a fighting battle anime. I knew nothing about it. I just saw it on Netflix. Like, you know what? I'll watch it. Why not? It's called Beastars. And instead of it being anything like that, it is instead very much so a anime drama set in high school, particularly in the art and drama clubs. It goes all over the place, man, and it is very dramatic and very, 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 very heartstring pulley, very emotional. It takes you in all kinds of different ways and directions, places I didn't think it was going to take me, to be honest. So I'm going to give you guys a quick little, spoiler-free review. You can't even really spoil this thing. It goes in so many different directions. So essentially, it opens up with a member of the acting club being devoured and killed by one of the carnivores. Now, if you don't know, in this world, the carnivores and the herbivores kind of behave as sort of like race divisions. And they are also aware that they are definitely animals. They're also aware they are definitely men and women, and that's where all the whole love thing comes into play. Now, you have your main protagonist, who is a gray wolf, who at first seems a little bit creepy. You don't know what his motivations are. You don't know who he is really, but ultimately he has a heart of gold. He's that like typical anime protagonist who's very emotional and very in his head and very like adolescence-y. He's still a virgin. That's a big deal throughout this entire thing. He is actually really lovable, but at the same time infuriating because he will get in his own way constantly. And if you've ever been in high school, you almost immediately relate to the characters in this show. It definitely takes you on a roller coaster ride of happy, sad, and our protagonist is really the one who takes us on the most sad ride possible. He's constantly thinking to himself like, well, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm just resigned to be what I am, and I will be nothing more. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm always going to be this piece of crap that you see before you. He's like your typical, very adolescent. You know what it reminds me of a lot? It reminds me of Steven's Universe. A lot of the characters in Steven's Universe give me a lot of anxiety just watching them exist. And this is very much in that same vein. Now, there is very little action in this thing, but it shouldn't matter. And it really doesn't matter because that's not what you're here for. You're absolutely 110% here for the drama. It's so hard to explain where this thing goes because at one point you think it's this genre piece, and then it goes somewhere else, and there's always some form of dramatics hitting you at every single turn. To tell you, if this tells you anything, I personally hate this type of animation. I hate the cel-shaded, very stilted, moving like robots animation. But you get so into the story and so into the characters and so into the drama that you don't care. You don't care at all. It is that engrossing. It is that gripping. It pulls you in that hard that even the things I hate about this thing are inconsequential. I almost said non-consequential. That's not a word. Inconsequential because the over arc of it is the story. Like if I read this as a manga, I would be in love. This thing is so freaking awesome. And just so you know, in case you were wondering, there will be a season 2, which means I have a manga to go read because I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting because this thing pulls you in. Now, I'll be honest, they don't necessarily answer everything in this season. They leave a little mystery like hanging out there. And then there's still more to be had from these characters. And I am excited to see what happens because there's so much in there. It's the love triangles. It's the fights that are dramatic. It's the personal conflict. It's the growth. This thing is a character-driven masterpiece. So I'm going to tell you right now that I fully 110% recommend you go watch Beastars. It's not what you think it's going to be. It's just not. Like, I had no way to predict where the thing was going to go. I had no way to know that things were going to end the way they end. I had no way to know that I was going to get suddenly turned on by rabbit boobies. That's just a real admission I have to make. I had no idea I was going to be into that, but here we are. It really does make you kind of like have some introspective moments with yourself, and it really does have a pure parallel with the way that we treat each other as human beings, be us black, white, Asian, Mexican, Hispanic, whatever it may be, all of it. Like, it really does make you think about the way we should view each other. There's even a joke in here about, oh, this place allows interspecies relationships. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Because in society, we don't always accept people for just being themselves or who they are. There's always this conflict inside you. I was watching that Netflix show, Love is Blind. And the one thing that the black and white mixed couple kept kind of having come up in their conversations were, it's going to be hard for us out there because the world may not accept a black woman and a white man together. And I still believe, honestly, right now in society, we do still struggle with that, but not to the degree that we used to. And I think that, like, if you were able to become strong in your own resolve and become strong in what you want out of life, other people's opinions don't really matter, because the race that you are with should not define your relationship. You know, in the same way in this show, that the species you are with should not define your relationship. It should be the love that you give each other and the strength you guys give one another and the way you build towards a better world. There will always be people that don't want to see you together for whatever reason. But ultimately, it's bigger than that. And our world is bigger than that. And you need to be bigger too, because that's the only way you reach the place of change. So that is ultimately my review of the Beastars, which is probably should be said more in the vein of Beastars. As awesome opening, I didn't mention that at all. It's done in stop motion animation, and the whole thing. If you watch the opening, you think it's going to be all about this love story, and it's ultimately not. It's much meatier than that, and I really do implore for you guys to get involved, dig in with a spoon, a knife, and a fork, and maybe even your Sailor Moon bottle opener. If you're cool like that and you got one, get involved and enjoy the show. My name's Chris, and let me know what you want to hear me review or compare next. The next animated debate will definitely be a comparison show where we go head-to-head to two series that were begging to be fought. Fisticuffs. My name's Chris, and I'll see you guys on the next one. After use teleport.